Doesn't matter. Brush your hair and fix your teeth. What you wear is all that matters. Just another stage, pageant the pain away. This time I'm gonna take the crown without falling down, down, down. Pretty hurt. Shine a light on whatever's worth. Perfection is a disease of a nation. Pretty hurts, pretty hurts, pretty hurts. Shine a light whatever's worth.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the ReachOut Roundtable. This song is the cover Pretty Hurts with Chloe and Halle. The song Pretty Hurts is by Beyonce, but I love the original and the cover. And I thought it was a great song to represent our conversation here on the ReachOut Roundtable today. As many of you know, ReachOut Roundtable is an extension of the ReachOut Organization. We decided to extend our platform in order to be able to educate others effectively and build community through our conversations, through talking about a little bit of everything and providing solutions for our community and our supporters. So today I'm very excited. I got to interview two of my college friends that are in the beauty industry. I was thinking about an episode that I could have where I'm talking about Black women and our beauty standards, and we barely touched the surface of this conversation, so I know we'll definitely have another conversation in the future. But we talked about them being entrepreneurs, the inception of their businesses, different tips and gems they have for us on how you should, the mentality that you should have when you're starting up. We talked a little bit about skin lightening, definitely something we will revisit. And again, just talking about Black women and our beauty standards, how we can continue to support each other. Some of my favorite quotes from this interview is just a reminder that we're all unique, that everyone has their own aesthetic. And also, when we were defining beauty, we said, you know, if you look in the mirror and you say you're beautiful, then you're beautiful. That's the end of discussion. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy. But yeah, we'll start real quick. Thank y'all again. I was like, when I saw some more of y'all stuff recently, I was like, dang, I should do one like about beauty. And then, like, cause I know all of us are like into, as far as like Black women, you know, we're like into hair and makeup, and we like always stay fresh. So I was like, that would be a good one just to like talk about it and all that good stuff. And then as soon as I sent the message, I was like, oh shoot, we should talk about like skin lightening, because I was like, dang, I didn't like forget about it, but I was like, that definitely has a huge influence like on the beauty industry and stuff. So I was like, it'd be cool to get y'all perspective on that. But before you get into that, I just wanted to ask each of y'all to like introduce yourself and, you know, like your business, and just explain like what influenced you to start your business, or like what inspired you. And yeah, and then we'll go from there. Who wants to go first?
Okay. It doesn't matter. I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Brianna. I am 23 years old. I recently graduated from SIUE, the sociology degree.
Ooh.
This business is a handmade cosmetic line. So I specialize in lip glosses and custom glitters, things like that. As time goes on, I'm hoping to expand, of course, and to branch out into other products. The mission is to provide skin-friendly cosmetics for all shades of women or whoever, really. My business was inspired by my newfound love that I had for makeup back in 2016, when I went away to school. I had just really gotten to makeup, just playing around in it for myself. And then as I started to branch out and really like learn more about it and get better at it technique wise, starting my business kind of like a not accident, but it was more so like a spur of the moment experiment type of thing. Like
Yeah.
small little story time. When I was younger, I was obsessed with glitter, still am, obviously, for my products, but I could never wear glitter gloss when I was younger because it would break me out so bad. Like I would get allergic reactions all the time anytime I tried to put on some little cheap glitter makeup.
Right.
So, one day, 2016, I had a clear lip gloss and I was just playing around. I poured some glitter in it and just started wearing it. It brought back some nostalgia. So I'm like, you know what? It didn't break me out. What?
Right.
So I'm like, I can make these and sell these. And literally it just went from there. Like one day of me just around in my vanity. And I was like, let me get deeper into this and like find everything I need to do it. And like the very first step I did was just go get my name patent and went from there.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. I like how you said it was like a spur of a moment because I think a lot of times, well, personally for me, like there's a lot of times where my best ideas just come out of nowhere. So that's pretty
Yes,
cool.
literally.
Yeah. What about you, Sky?
I just want to add also, we got some bomb lip gloss and some bomb glitter. Like, let me
Mine's
just
in the
put
mail.
that out there. Y'all need to
It's on
shop.
the way. It's on the way.
Thank you.
Okay, but I am Skylar Morton. I'm a hairstylist, a artist. I sell lashes, and I'm working to expand my lash company. It's called Enhanced Me Beauty. I started about a year, almost a year and a half ago, and that's because I started doing makeup. So I started noticing eyelash, and I got into the whole idea of like the different eyelash shape and what they do for the eyes and how they go with certain makeup looks. So that's how the lash company came to be. Um, I've literally, I like to say I've been doing hair my whole life since I was doing French rolls at like 5 years old. So I grew up in the salon because my mom does hair, and so like the whole mission behind my brand is to make women not only look good but feel good, because when you actually do feel good when you look good, and just being in the salon and seeing women's reactions and how like getting their hair, getting their makeup done, getting all of these beauty services just makes their day. Like you literally see the glow in their eyes, and specifically like Black women, because we go through a lot just being Black women. Really, what to cater to is like well, women in general, but like specifically Black women, because we go through so much as being already being, and on top of that, being a woman. If me doing your hair, making you look good is gonna change just a little bit how you feel, just made your day. That's really what my brand is all about. Just making Black women embrace themselves, embrace their beauty, love themselves, because the world is literally against us. I know that's just a whole load to drop. That's really why I love what I do, really why I'm going to cosmetology school, which what I really wish I did this sooner, but had I probably would have went to get my degree in business. But that's a whole nother story.
Oh,
So yeah, basically
interesting.
that's my whole brand. Yeah, like I like Pivot Point. That's the cosmetology school I go to now. That's been my dream school my whole entire life. But listen to other people. How your family has their influences. That's not the route I took. But we here now. At the end of the day, I did what made me happy, and that's making women feel happy. So
That's
that's my
that's
spiel.
that's good. That's nice. Um, I like how you said. Oh, I just lost my thought. But I like how you said that at the end. Like a lot of times, especially when I was younger, like in fourth grade is the first time I had my hair like flat iron. And when she swiveled me around the chair when she was done, I was like, I was like,
Yes.
I look fly, like I look good. I was snap. So I definitely liked it. You
I
mentioned
really hold my breath until I hear the reaction because when I hear that, oh, as soon as I face look at themselves in the mirror and I hear this, I'm like, okay, yes, we did what we had to do.
exactly, exactly. Man, so that's cool. And y'all are both, I guess, relatively new to small business because they say, it takes about like 5 years before you actually know. But what would be like
Hmm.
some advice y'all would give to other people similar to me that are like just now coming up and trying to start their own business, or they're thinking about starting a business? What's like the number one thing, the number one tip y'all would give them?
Um, well, let me just say this first before I start. Skylar got some bomb wigs and lashes, and that's period.
That's fair.
but but seriously though, I would say my main piece of advice to somebody that wants to start a business, um, throw fear of failure out the window like now. And I say that because that can keep you just super down in the dumps about what you want to do. If you just internalize all those small mishaps that are going to come with business anyway, it's going to be really hard for you to keep progressing. I mean, granted, it's going to get frustrated at times. I still get frustrated. I definitely don't have every aspect of my business figured out. I definitely can say that there's so much more that I want to learn, probably need to learn, stuff I don't even really know about yet. So I would say, just go for it. Whatever it is you want to do, plan it out the best way that you can. And also don't be afraid of growth. I know a lot of people like to, and not that it's a bad thing, but a lot of people like to get everything together and then just launch their business. Now that's not bad, but I didn't do it that way. I started what I had and I was kind of like, okay. And as I started to grow, I started to look back on myself, like, for example, quarantine. Being on quarantine really made me do like some deep analyzing and really looking at my business like, I was doing this and y'all was letting me like. So just let yourself grow. Like, don't be afraid of your growth. It's always room for new things. So I kind of appreciate that I did my business like that because it's just showed me my progression since I started. So from 2016 to now, I've seen all my progress, and I kind of like that I did it that way instead of just getting all this stuff there and just putting it out. I actually just like seeing my growth. So I think those would be my two main pieces of it. And have fun too. Make it
For
something
sure.
that's your passion. Like,
Exactly.
part of the thing that doesn't make my business so frustrating is that I like doing it. So like when I'm creating my products, it's fun for me. So yeah, those are my three things I would say.
Yeah. I like that. You said make room for growth because a lot of times I think it is important not only that you're passionate about it, but that you're actually making the moves you want to make. Like Sky was saying before, sometimes
Right.
we have outside influences, but it's like, nah, when you go through that yourself and you go through the steps, like you said, you can analyze and be like, oh, this is where I went wrong, like me personally, and I can kind of critique that and fix it and see how I can get better
Right.
results. That's nice.
Yeah. Because I feel like in my business too, there's a lot of creativity behind it, whether it's with the product making or the way I market it, the
Mhm.
makeup looks that I do.
Mhm.
All that can't come at once. You know what I mean? Like that stuff gotta grow over time. Like I'll be up 1, 2 in the morning and be like, oh, let me do this or let me write this down. So it's like all that
Yes.
stuff comes with time. Like
Ideas out
so
of
yeah,
nowhere.
just appreciate your growth. Go through whatever, gonna be.
Mm. Love it, love it. Yeah, I always love both y'all looks. Like whether it's the marketing or just y'all personal posts, I'd be like, yes. It's always like I love the coordination. Like, oh my gosh. Mm.
Thank you.
What about you, Sky? What gems you got for us?
Really. Bree literally took one of the ones I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
Bree.
I'm sorry.
it was about the growth. I was gonna say stop trying to make it perfect because one, it's never gonna be perfect. Like you're
That's
always going to be improving your business. You're
Right.
always gonna think of ways to make your business better, and you shouldn't want to be perfect.
hmm
All that, like that means you, like Bree said, you aren't growing. So like she said, start with what you had. That's the same thing I did. Like even just now restarting my YouTube. Before then, I was literally, before I got my camera and everything, I was really stacking boxes on top of each other, like it against the wall, like using my phone, working with what I had. Another thing is to just do it. I know people say this all the time, but that's literally the one thing I tell everybody, to just do, because my friend Paula, one of my best friends, she's a therapist. So I've been talking to her, and she was telling me, like, you already know
Shout
it's
out
like
Black therapists. Sorry, I had to.
Right.
Sorry, it's a low percentage out there. So, okay, proceed.
Right. But she was telling me, like, you already know what it feels like to not do it. So you might as well just go ahead and do it to see if you get a different result. And 9 out of 10, you're gonna get something. It's either you're not gonna get anything worse. It's either you're gonna the same results that you've been doing, which is nothing, or you're gonna see people maybe interested in what you have to say or what you're doing or things like that. So just do it. Doesn't matter if, like, it could be the craziest idea, but if you believe in it and you're confident in it, like, that's another one. Be confident in what you're doing, because if you're not confident, people are going to see that and they're going to be like, well, if she or he don't believe in themselves, why am I, supporting you? Why should I, if you don't even believe in yourself? So those would be my things. Like, don't try to be perfect. Take that leap of faith and do it. Because you never know you never know. You could blow up. And be patient. That too. Be patient. It does take time. Like, it's not gonna, if you go in thinking you're gonna be an overnight success. Like, I'm learning in cosmetology school. It was like, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. Like, right. Exactly. So, I can unpack that.
That's patience right there.
Literally, so you have to be patient. Don't expect everyone to love you or love your product or what you do right away, because you're still putting yourself out there.
That's so true. Yeah, just definitely the patience. But I want to backtrack for a second, because I remember Bree just said that she started getting into, or she always loved glitter, like since she was younger. So, and I was talking about, like, when I would get my hair straightened when I was younger, like, that would just be the best thing. So when y'all were younger, how did you feel about, like, being a Black woman? Did you wear your hair natural, or were you, like, still really interested in makeup and being all dolled up all the time? Like, how'd y'all feel about it coming up?
Yeah, I was always into, like, hair, makeup, and stuff like that. And my mom, she was a hairstylist, still is a hairstylist. So my hair was always done, like, hair straight. Mom definitely had me with the little braid twisties with the barrettes at the end.
In general, I just love Black women, because my mama made it a point that I knew who I was. Like, I've been to almost all of the Black History museums. Like, she did all these for me. So I always knew, but also, put a perm in my, I'm trying to use the correct term, in cosmetology school. She put a relaxer in my hair.
Right.
She could not tame it. So I never really, cared too much about natural hair, because, like, I always would have a wrap or some braids. So I never really saw my natural curls. So I didn't become natural until, like, my senior year of high school. But, like, I've gone back and forth, because I cut hair into a pixie cut in, like, 2016. So of course I had the relaxer for that. But I got that relaxer one time, and then I started wearing wigs because I couldn't do the short hair.
Yeah.
So I've been natural for about, like, 7 years, but really, like, for real.
Oh, dang. Okay. Not dang, but
Yeah.
I hear you.
No,
That's
dang, because my hair was popping.
Right, that's what I was trying to say. I hear you, but dang, you weren't able to always see your curls. I think that's a huge influence on how we end up feeling about our hair. It's crazy. I'm kind of like the opposite of y'all. Like, when I was coming up, I was a tomboy, so my hair would also, like, always be in braids. I'd have, the balls, the ponytail holders, two on the side, two braids on the side, one in the back, or the two strands all over, and back then, we're not as cultured, so our classmates will talk about I have worms in my head and whatnot. People will
Oh
call
my
me
God.
Medusa, and I'm like, I don't
Mhm.
even know who Medusa is. What are y'all talking about? But I wasn't really, I wasn't allowed to wear makeup, so that kind of, even when I was trying to get, more to my girly side, I kind of was like, all right, dang, I just got to work with what I got. Like, okay, try and figure this out. So in high school, I definitely would wear braids. I loved braids. The single leaf twist, yes, go to.
Mhm.
Um, and
Yeah.
then I don't know what happened. I think one time I took the braids down and my edges were like completely gone as far as the length.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I had heat damage because I was always straightening it. Um, and especially I played sports, so I would always sweat it out, and I'd have to, re-straighten it like every day. So I had some heat damage, but I started to wear it natural when I was in like 10th grade, as far as just like not putting any more heat on it. And I think I was just, I don't know how to say it. I was just like, this is my hair. I didn't really feel
Mhm.
one way or the other about it. Um, but then by our senior year of high school, when everyone else was, starting to become natural, and I was noticing like it was a wave again, we were starting to embrace it and learn how to take care of our hair again. I was like, all right, cool. We could do this. We could be fresh together. And I always like try and hype up my friends, so they're like, "Okay, I think I'm gonna go natural. I think I'm gonna do the big chop." I'm like, "Yes, do it. Like, if you're ready, just do it. It's gonna be worth it once you like figure out your routine and everything." So, how do you think, especially like since Sky, you're in cosmetology school, and Bree, like just from
Mm.
your experience with beauty in the industry, how do you think the beauty industry kind of influences our definition of beauty and why we're initially hesitant, to embrace our natural look?
Uh, I feel like because society sets like this quote unquote standard of what beauty should be, um, especially when you get into like, images, visuals, everything is visual now, so it's like when you're constantly putting the same visual in a person's face, they start to kind of feel like, oh, maybe this is how I should look to be accepted. But I personally just feel like as women, we should build our own definitions of what beauty is. I feel like the
Mhm.
But the
true
same.
definition of beauty is um what you as the individual defines it as.
Hmm.
Like I said, society's quote unquote standard of beauty doesn't work for everybody. That's not everybody's look. Everybody's not gonna look the same. You know what I mean? You shouldn't want to. Everybody has their own aesthetic. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like even with me, like with my products, I know sometimes I'll get a lot of people that like say comments like, "Oh, I can't pull off that lip gloss color because you're light skinned. Like you can pull that off. I can't do that." And like I hate that because I never want people to think like light skin is better. This just only state I come in. Like
Yeah.
that's just how I was born. But I hate hearing that because it's like why are wired to think that way? You know what I mean? I definitely understand preferences with not wanting to do certain things, just kind of like just, just the fact that you feel like you can't pull something off because of your skin color.
Hmm.
Like I hate that that stigma is present. So I definitely try my best, even though it's hard being like a one woman show in my business. I try my best to kind of like, when I get customers of other shades, I try to post their pictures as much as possible, like so people can see like, no, like it's not just me.
Yeah.
Anybody could wear it. Like anybody could be beautiful in any colors or any clothes, whatever it is, any hairstyles. So yeah,
Most
if
definitely.
that if that sums up your question.
Yeah, use your platform. That's dope.
That's definitely what, I want my business to be like. Just exude confidence. And I also don't want people to think, have a misconception because I have, makeup skills. Like, my product's not just for people that can do makeup. You know what I mean? It
Right,
can be for the
right.
everyday person. If you just want to add some pop to your look and just be cute,
Mhm.
like, I'm not like, oh, these products are only for people that can do makeup. Like, no, girl, I didn't know how to do makeup all my life.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm still progressing in it. So
Definitely. How about you, Sky?
Um, beauty industry has like a huge effect on like how we view ourselves. Like pretty much breathes in my head because literally she just took the words right out of my mouth. Honestly, um, we are taught to see light skin as better skin because where that stems from way back when. We're not gonna get into
Hmm.
so
That's a
that's
different
not what we talk about, but we all know,
episode.
yeah.
mhm.
um, but yeah, it definitely shows us that lighter skin is better, and that you have to look like this to be beautiful, or you have to dress like this for people to think you're beautiful. And like Bree said, like beauty is literally what you make it. Like if you look good and you look in the mirror and you feel good about yourself, then and you think you're beautiful, then you're beautiful. And you shouldn't
Mhm.
let like society or anybody, even yourself, don't even let yourself tell you. Because I have that habit bad, like telling myself, "Oh, I look crazy." Like, okay, but I can get myself together. Like, I don't look
Exactly.
crazy. I look crazy in the sense because that's what my brain has been wired to say about myself. But just staying off social media, one has helped me with that a lot. Like, I don't sit and scroll through social media anymore just because I started to have those bad habits of talking down on myself just because I see on social media, oh, but people don't put them looking terrible on social media, or them like not having their best days are all made up. So we can't use even you can't even use social media to say that's the standard because yeah, everybody's gonna post themselves looking good on social media.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
that's you're not gonna put yourself looking busted. So I think we as individuals and like as a society need to step away from social media and just like see it as what it is, which is to be social, like business now, things like that, not to your life. Like
Okay.
social media is just to socialize, show people what you're doing. Don't take it like, oh, I need to look like this, or I have to be doing like I see people my age doing a bunch of other like travel the world, doing all this stuff,
Hmm.
living their best lives. But I don't know what they did to get to that point. Like they could have went through hell and high waters to get there.
Sure could.
So it could, you're right. And the person who you never know, the person who is always, we watched this video in class, like the woman who's always looking good, always, all her life, she was abused and taught and told that she was like ugly all her life. So don't take what's going on social media and say, oh yeah, I have to look like this or I have to do that, because you don't know what that person went through to get to the point, and you don't see that, so you only see what they allow you.
That's so true. And it's like y'all were saying, there's this song by Beyonce called Pretty Hurts. It's I
Hmm.
think that's a good song that's highlighting, it's not all peaches and cream all the time. And
Mhm.
especially about the beauty industry, like they put out these images. And yeah, spot on. We just all on the same wave right now because social media is the same platform, like putting out images, making people feel some type of way, when it really doesn't have to be like that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and I also definitely agree with y'all definition of beauty because that's what my definition is too. Like as long as you, you know what I'm saying, as long as you're healthy and you are feeling good and you're looking good, don't worry about what anybody has to say because somebody's always gonna say something. If you want to be honest,
Hmm.
like Lauren Hill said,
Right. No,
Lauren and
literally.
Bob said they got so much things to say right now. So it's like it's always gonna be some backlash. But that's why another reason why we have to always, support one another and like use our platform to show
Hmm.
the right images because a lot of times we don't see the right images of ourselves. Um, yeah, yeah.
And people would be laughing at me and talk about me because I will snatch my wig off on Instagram in a minute, and people like, well, you just yes, because it's weave. I got some braids under here.
Yeah.
Why am I like pretending that we all know this is a wig? And I'm trying to show y'all how good this looks because a lot of people
Hmm.
didn't think it was wig. So yes, I'm snatching my wig off. Like
Exactly.
I will look crazy.
That's another thing. We gotta be vulnerable and
The
honest
real.
about it. Like a lot of times, especially when we was younger, people wouldn't want to talk about not having edges, or what I'm saying, like we would be ashamed of that. But it's like, no, we gotta talk about all of it so we know that we in this together. Like, um,
No, for real.
because I was just saying how when we encourage each other, like that's how we'll be able to make more people feel comfortable with the skin they're in. Do you feel like the images on social media and whatnot have an effect on like our sisterhood? Sometimes I feel like, again, just this reoccurring theme of the images that we're seeing, they don't always portray us in the best light. And again, like colorism, I think sometimes we automatically have a impression of, other black women before we really like sit down and talk and get to know each other. And that's not like all the time, but I feel like that's sometimes. Have y'all like noticed that at all? Do y'all think it has an effect on our sisterhood and like our community?
I think it does. But I have like when you said colorism, that just made me think of it. It does have an effect. Like definitely, automatically have those stereotypes. Oh, she's light skinned. She's probably stuck up, or like just anything. So it's definitely apparent in our community. But I also have seen like a switch, like a shift. Like people are also loving themselves more. Like I've seen so many posts and like um blogs and everything dedicated to like loving darker skin, which is something that wasn't really, it wasn't thing. It was always like is better skin. So see now that people are more embracing their skins more, embracing all skin types more, but specifically darker skin because it was always some colorism in the community. So now a lot of people are speaking up on it. So I think that's why I'm saying like it's a shift because now people are talking about it. Now people are embracing it more and they're loving it more. Which and also I see a lot of people talking about you said did mention skin lightening, right?
Right, yeah. I was mentioning
Yeah,
that in the beginning, yeah.
yeah. I see people talking about that now. Not talking about like they're wanting to do it. They're saying how like you saying we embracing our skin and completely against skin lightening. And what I don't see people talk about is like me personally. I had an issue with my complexion. I know people are gonna say like, "What you're light skin or whatever." That doesn't mean I don't like. I didn't have an issue with myself. Like
Hmm.
they always want to make people to be the victim, and I just want people to see there are like two sides, and everybody, not just like dark skinned people go through they feel like some dark skin people may feel like they want to bleach their skin or be lighter because of social media or society, but also like I had an issue with myself and my complexion because me personally, I love dark skin. Like
Yes.
I yes, like I like, and I literally just told Devontae today, like he's never known this, but I don't think anyone knows this. Like I did not like my skin. So like I always wanted to be dark skin. I always like I always love to be. I would always love to be dark skinned. I've never like looked at my well, not I'm not gonna say never. Just in the few recent years when the whole self love started happening, I started to embrace my skin tone because I've never looked at myself like I look good. I didn't just get this confidence. I've always had that insecurity. This is my first time ever saying it out loud. It's gonna be to the public. Like I've always wanted to be dark skinned, and so yeah, that's. I feel like I got a little topic, got into colorism and all of that,
Yeah.
but
No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. As we close out this interview, we talk a little bit more about colorism, a little bit about skin lightening, which I definitely think is a conversation that we'll revisit on another episode. And we close out with our thoughts about voting and our thoughts about this episode. Thank y'all again so much for your time. I really enjoyed our conversation.
You're welcome.
I wanted to pick back up on the skin lightening real fast. I think that I don't know for certain if this applies to Lil Kim, but as far as seeing pictures of her when she was younger and then seeing pictures now, I think that was one of the first images where I was like, why did she do that? Why did she feel that she wasn't beautiful? You know what I mean? And of course, again, reoccurring theme is because of the media and a certain image that she was probably pressured to assimilate into. But it just kind of hurt me a little bit. And then I think last summer 19, or maybe even summer 18, I saw a brief documentary about skin lightening in different areas of Africa and how they'll have billboards that are promoting it, and a lot of the acting agencies out there won't accept actors or actresses rather if they know that they're not doing skin lightening. And it was just so much to it, as far as how bad it is for your skin and the long-term effects. A lot of the women had just skin rashes and skin damage, and it just it really pressed me because I don't know. I just felt why did we get so lost where, our mom or our auntie or our cousins weren't even telling us it's cool, you look good the way you are, and I was just wondering what, I know Sky touched on it a little bit, but Bree, have you ever, I think, yeah, you did touch on it earlier too, about how you want to make sure your product, everyone feels comfortable using your product. But have you ever had any other thoughts about it, or are there any other things that come to mind when you hear about skin lightening?
Just like you were saying, just seeing it in the media more so, it's kind of painful because it's just kind of people assume because you're of a lighter shade that you're oh, yeah, that just automatically makes her look better. No, you know what I mean? Just because I'm one way doesn't mean everybody else needs to look like me. And I think, melanin, deep melanin than mine, of course, is beautiful to me. Mm-hmm. So it is painful to see women really not like themselves, not like the skin they're in, the bodies they're in, or, whatever it is. Just seeing women with such insecurities is hurtful because, like I said, once again, it just all goes back to the media. The media just makes such a big impact in women's lives, and it's sad because it's all about the media is just trying to push conformity.
Yeah.
Look like this, be like this, and you'll be perfect. Right. So no, it's just really sad just seeing women resort to such great measures, I guess, or that are bad for them, just to look a certain way because they don't appreciate, themselves and what they already have.
Yes, and I really like that you mentioned, just like Scott said earlier, insecurities is also a huge part of it, because even though the media plays a huge part, how we feel about ourselves is connected to that, but it's also we kind of need to, how should I say, we just kind of got to shake that. And it's, of course, that's easier said than done, but it's when we realize, okay, this is something I feel insecure about, then it's okay, how can I take the steps to improve and not really let that get me down, because I'm just beautiful in the skin I'm in type stuff. And
Another aspect. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead,
I just thought of something.
yeah.
What I was gonna say, another aspect to think about too is where is it stemming from as far as like people's inner insecurities? 'Cause, I mean, you could get them over time, like when you grow up and your mind is, a little broader and you can think more for yourself. But when I say like where do they stem from, it's like who are you around that's not telling you
Right.
that, being your own skin is okay? You know what I mean? Because it's like you you're impressionable for quite some time before you can really think on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of comes from like, family or even your peers, like our peers putting you down, is family putting you down or not lifting you up enough. And it's not necessarily looking for validation.
Right.
It's just more so like, like I don't know, it just goes hand in hand with a lot of things. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna know how to wash your hands if somebody don't teach you.
Right.
So it's like who's not teaching you that your skin is beautiful, your hair is beautiful, or you don't have to do all these extreme things to make
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you know, look better. Unless you want to. Like I said, nothing's wrong with people, doing what they want to do. Essentially, it's their bodies. But those other far out things like skin lighting, I just think that's just
Yeah.
it's just wrong to me. I mean, I'm gonna just say it, and not to, make anybody feel bad about this thing that they make with their body, but it's just because it's just wrong because like I said, who's telling you that you don't look right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely important to, you know, have an environment where you see love, whether it's about
Right.
your physical appearance or whether it's about you as a person, right? And so that's definitely a huge part of it. And I agree with you. Like, I am not throwing shade to anybody that wants to wear makeup every day, or do whatever they want to do to their nose or their behind, or they,
Mm-hmm.
they girls, whatever you want to do, that's cool. But
Yeah.
are you doing it for the right reasons? You feel me? Like, not
Right.
because you
Right.
want to look a certain way or you want to impress certain people, but because that's just your body and you taking your agency over it. And a lot of times I've been trying to just, not in a weird way. And it's different now because it's COVID, but pre-COVID, like
Mm-hmm.
anytime I see, a young girl, whether she's light skin or dark skin, if she has her natural hair, or even if she just has like really cute braids or like she's looking really cute, I'll just be like, oh, I like your
Right.
hair, or oh, I like your shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of like encourage her because when you hear that from a young age, especially from someone older, it kind of like catches you off guard, but you're
Yeah.
like, cool, like they see me.
Mm-hmm. It definitely leaves an impact.
Right. And like that's not to say like you need validation, but that validation does help. Like I know for me personally, like I've grown. My mom did to like she did tell me like I was beautiful and all that, but I made my own standard of beauty, my own mind. So that's where my security is come. My standard of beauty was always dark skin, so that's just what I always like. Oh, like that's it.
Exactly.
That's the goal. But I mean, really, I can't do that because that's not my complexion. So I have to work for what I got and love what I have.
Yeah. And that's such a good point. There's a difference between validation and reassurance. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole
Definitely.
hierarchy of needs. Like there's things we actually need
Mm-hmm.
to, be
Mm-hmm.
fulfilled and have self-care, and just be healthy all around. So, um, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. My last and final question, um, is about voting. But I just wanted to say thank y'all, for using your platform and keep doing what you're doing. I'm waiting for like a date, hopefully, I have coming up, in the next week or two. Of course, it's going to be like inside my crib, but I want to still get dressed up because it's been a long time since I've been dressed up. So when I get dressed up, I'll definitely, use Sky's lashes and I'll definitely use the lip gloss and I'll be popping and I'll let y'all see it
Yes.
if that ever happens. um, but before like the end of October, for all my interviews, I just been asking people, and you can give long answer, short answer. It's really no pressure. But I've just been trying to get like a general consensus of how our peoples have been feeling, about the election this year. or this upcoming election in 2020, and like just how you feel about it and how you feel about voting and etc. But yeah, you can say however much you want to say.
Um, well, I feel like, I mean, when considering who our candidates are, but I still feel like everyone should go out and vote because at the end of the day, if you're not voting, you have no right to complain about what's going on because you didn't even take the initiative to put someone in office that would even try to make anything better for you.
Right.
So definitely, like, and that's definitely pretty much what I see all the time in our community. People don't go out and vote or complain, and don't go out and vote and complain that, oh well, oh, the president isn't doing what he's supposed to. What, did you go out and vote? No. Okay, well, you don't even have room to say you already chose your candidate when
Right.
you didn't vote.
Right.
So, and also, like, I think it's I think it's a joke right now, honestly. Like, like, I'm gonna be honest, like,
Yes,
especially
please.
with the whole Kanye 2020 thing. That's a whole right. Your face is
That's
just
just
exactly how I feel.
because it's a whole nother conversation. It's a whole
Yeah,
nother
that's what I'm saying.
episode.
That's a
Like,
whole nother, yeah.
it's no shade to Kanye. It's just way more than that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, right now, we just pray
Okay.
and go out and vote. And honestly, that's really all we can do is pray at this point and vote.
Right.
Still go out and vote.
True.
But our candidates.
True. I real quick, before you go, Bree, I just wanted to say that I think that's the part that kind of rubs me the wrong way, as Sky mentioned, when people don't vote and then they complain.
Hmm.
And on top of
Right.
that, you're not doing anything to support your community or improve your community. Because a lot of
Mhm.
times, back in the day, they'd be like, oh, well, what did Obama do for black people? And I'll just be like, what are you doing for black people? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Right.
not
Yeah.
that we shouldn't hold them accountable, but we should also be the ones, putting or contributing rather to our community before we pointing
Hmm.
fingers and expecting everybody else to help us. Like, we got to stay focused on what's important to us and make sure we got the common values, the common goals. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Definitely my take on it. Um, I'm gonna say, woo, child. Politics is just it's deep, and I hate politics for the life of me. I'm paying attention to what I need to pay attention to, but just
Agreed.
like talking about it can be a little ugh. But
Agreed.
I would say this definitely yes, vote. I would be voting, of course. Out of the candidates we got, but like anything to get do that office, that's just
Exactly.
really what I'm hoping for. Like Scott said, just pray at this point, because I mean,
Yeah.
my philosophy is God is my president anyway, so I really
Hey.
don't be caring too much. No presidents, but no, I think it is important to vote. Even for me, like it needs to become more important because I'll be honest, when it came down to the election, when it was Hillary and Donald Trump, I did vote. And people that knew that, I just exposed myself to the X, but people that knew that were really just puzzled, like why. And for me, it was just a time where it was when I was young still, and that was like gonna be my first time even getting the chance to vote. Like I was of age to vote, and I was just kind of like, I'm feeling neither one. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, I don't want either one of these people to be president. So am I just gonna go for Hillary? Just what I mean? So
Yeah.
for that, at that time, it was just kind of like, what it was for me. But now I feel like, yeah, no, he gotta go.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted him in the first place, but it was just like, yeah, no.
Yes, and I think that's cool. Like, I thank you for admitting that because it's like you were saying before, politics is just one of those topics that almost makes me cringe, every time we have to
Yeah,
really
literally.
get into it. But we we also like have to, you know, do more research and be like, all right, well, what can I do to help my community, and what can I do to at least keep my local government accountable?
Right.
If I'm, you know, saying that I'm a citizen of this country and, you know, I want to be treated how I should already been treated. Again, that's another episode. But yeah, I definitely just thank you for sharing that, and want people to know, like, just because you have one point of view before, like, doesn't mean we can't, you know, change our minds now, and just really like start to do the groundwork and continue to pray, and what they say, keep the hope alive, keep the faith,
Right.
whatever they say. Because yeah, we just have to have like common values and be on the same page so that we can keep moving the needle. Um, all right, cool. Thanks. Did y'all want to talk about anything else like related to beauty, or did y'all want to like say anything else?
Also
Um.
add,
Oh, yeah.
oh, like how you said, when people say, "Oh, what did Obama do in our community?" and your response is, "Well, what are you doing for your community?" Like, I need people to understand the key word is our community, your community. So, like I mentioned earlier, if you're not confident in yourself, why should other people be confident in you? If you're not helping or caring about your community, like,
See,
what do you expect other people to do?
see, yes.
But that's all.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Did you have something, Bree?
I just wanted to say thank you for thinking of me to be on your podcast. I've never been on a podcast before. I listen to some every now and again, but never been considered to speak on one. So that was really cool. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
I love the questions that you asked. Like those were some real think pieces, but I like them because people need to hear answers to stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's from everyday
yeah.
people. Like me and Scholars
Yeah.
ain't no celebrity. We
Right.
just, even
We're
though
just
we think we
regular.
are and we do makeup like we is, but but no, like I feel like people need to hear from people like us because sometimes, like I said, the media can paint a picture
Mhm.
and think we the total opposite of what we are. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you just see images in media and you think like, oh, they're just and it's like, no.
Mhm.
We regular, degular, smuggler girl, Brian.
Right. And
Exactly.
these people might be regular, regulars. People edit a lot of stuff, so they
Exactly.
may look like they living on the beach, but no, they could be in front of the
Right.
green screen or a piece of green paper and put it up there. So yeah, social media
Man,
is something
Seriously.
else. So
editing tools go crazy these days. I'd be like, wait a
yes,
second. I'm like,
No, they
hold
really
on,
do.
y'all. But yeah, I
They
just
really do. But no, I really love this. Really cool. Like I said, all the questions that you asked were really spot on. I feel like people need to hear more conversation like this. It needs to become more relevant and more, how should I say, it should become more of the norm. Like,
right.
mm,
females, peer groups should be talking about this with their friends, and it's all about uplifting and encouragement, like you were saying. Like a lot of times, women get so pitted against each other. It's like it doesn't have to be like that.
It don't. It don't have to
Yeah.
be. Yeah. I just wanted to say no problem, you know, anytime. I definitely, when I first started the podcast, I already knew like people I had in mind. And y'all were definitely two of the first people. Primarily because we're women, you know, but then also because y'all are entrepreneurs, and I just think it's really important, like Bree was touching on, to just, you know, put something different out there for people to hear something different, hear something new. And we ain't got to be, you know, suit and tie. We ain't got to be all perfect, but just, you know, have
right.
this talk and just see,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, just see like what, where we're at now versus, you know, where we used to be. And,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'll definitely have
Right.
y'all again sometime. And it don't even have to be about this, you know, if y'all want to ever talk about anything else. That's why I kind of called it the round table, because I want to be able to talk about a little bit of everything. Just like having more down
Right.
to earth conversations. Yeah. and just educating the people. We just need solutions, because I think we kind of, I agree with Skylar, how she was saying before, we're bringing more awareness to like the skin lightening, and we're able to, embrace our skin more and more over time, and supporting each other as women. Like, we're definitely getting better, but
yeah, definitely. I feel like all those things that were like more so in the background are just coming to light now and progressing. Progression with certain things kind of slow, but I feel like the more people get aware, the more it catches on and starts to progress faster.
Exactly. Oh man. All right. Thank y'all so much.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
having